set up right because I can't see the screen. What's up everybody, welcome back to another video on my channel and Happy New Year. Yes, I am a month late, but this is the first video on my channel in this new year, so Happy New Year. I hope you guys are keeping up with your New Year's resolutions, and if you don't have any or you didn't make any this year, because I know a lot of people have stopped making them, make some, or not even a New Year's resolutions, just make some goals or anything like that, just something to really get you going. And it's okay if you don't fulfill them, because at least you're working towards something even if you don't get to where you want to go. It's just about moving forward, so yeah, Happy New Year. So welcome back to another video on my channel, and today we are going to be doing something different. It's actually like nearly 9 p.m. And I am going to be recording a late evening / night vlog for you guys, because I feel like whenever I film the kind of clinical placement videos, like the day in my life or week in my life, it always cuts off at about 5 to 6 p.m. depending on when I cut it off. And you guys don't get to see kind of my nighttime routine or my evening routine, where I still continue to do work, and I figured it would be good to show you guys that that's what I'm filming today. Is actually a weekend today. It is Sunday, and everyone knows the business week starts on Sunday, but no, this routine is kind of what I do throughout the week anyway. Okay, without further ado, let's get into it. Also, one more disclaimer. For my birthday I got a new phone, and it's been sitting in my room for the past month. My birthday's on the 31st of December, so it's been sitting in my room for the past month, and I just set it up yesterday, and I'm using the new camera on it, so hopefully the quality is a lot better. I was deciding whether to use this or my mirrorless camera, but I figured for now let's try this, because this is probably going to be the new vlog camera anyway. Can't see myself, so I don't know if all the settings are correct. I'm literally figuring out how to use this, because I jumped from an iPhone 7 to an iPhone 12 Pro and everything's different. So hopefully it's relatively okay, but if not, I'm sure it would be funny to edit later. Okay, I decided to use the flipped front camera because I think it's just better for everyone if I am able to see what I'm doing as I'm doing it, because even though the intro, which I filmed with the front-facing camera, is a lot clearer and a lot better, I couldn't really see if I was in frame or not, and I'm afraid when I start to film this, nothing will be in frame. So we're using this one for now. So how my evenings / nights usually pan out is I take these post-it notes here, or I use my work planner, which is here, for my clinical placement. It has like my to-do lists and things like that in it. I see if there's any work in there that I can do, not placement work, but tasks that come up that are kind of like extracurricular work. So for example, reading about specific therapies, or like last week I was reading about specific formulations, which is stuff you wouldn't really do in work. It's like extra homework essentially. So I would take it from that book, or I would write out a to-do list onto these post-it notes, which is what I'm going to do right now, even though it's later on, but I want to resemble my actual routine as closely as I can, even though I'm filming this a couple hours too late. My working space is slightly a mess, but that's okay, because the bed looks even worse, but I won't show you guys that. So I'll get into this pile here of stuff, because this has been a constantly moving thing. It would either stay here or in my work bag or somewhere here under the table, but I use everything here every single day, including in this evening routine, which I will show you. So I have my scientific calculator, I have my pencil case, which is the pencil case I take to work, because surprisingly, even though we work in a clinic and a hospital, there is a lot of writing involved all the time. So I have a pencil case with the usual essentials, black pen, colored pens, which I'll explain why I have those in a couple minutes, highlighter, ruler, sharpener, rubber. I also have scissors, because these have come in handy since day one of my placement, where we were cutting up like posters for patients and like decorations with positive affirmations and like things like that. The scissors come in super handy all the time, especially in inpatients where you're kind of handing them resources. And then I also have this double-sided like tape glue thingy, because that also comes in immensely handy for, like I said before, like the resources and things like that, and putting together your own resources and study material. Next, I have my UCAT booklet, which is why I have all of the kind of colored pens and the calculator and everything out, because I am studying for my UCAT, which I'm not going to say when I'm taking it, because I don't want to kind of put that bad luck, that jinx, that bad karma into the universe, but I'm taking it this year. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, I have my prep booklet, or not booklet, but my prep book for it. And I kind of go through with a different color each time I'm opening this book, so I know that whenever I have a new color, it's a new day or a new session that I'm using this. Otherwise they will kind of blend together, and I don't know where I'm marking from as well, because it has the answers in here, so you can mark what you got wrong and what you got right. So I use a new color for each session. I'm using this along with Medify. None of it's sponsored, nothing like that. I literally have 50 subs, so none of this is sponsored at all. But I really like this book. The questions are super hard in it, so by the time I kind of learn this book cover to cover, I'm hoping I'll be prepped along with Medify for my UCAT. Also, I realized I didn't say what that was. The UCAT is a medicine and dentistry entry exam, so if you're applying to med school or a school of dentistry, a dentist school, you know what it is. If you're applying to either of those, you need to take a UCAT and sometimes a BMAT for which course you're taking. I'm not doing the BMAT exam because the university I'm applying to doesn't require it. And I also wanted to say I'm applying for graduate entry med, not undergrad again. Even though I could, the funding's just not great. Last but not least in that pile is this. This is my med school prep book, and it is one of my prized possessions. It is just a blank sketchbook, and inside I kind of have headings like a big diary, like everything goes into here. When I'm prepping for my personal statement, I use this. My UCAT stuff, I use this as well. I'll show you the covers because that's not giving away too much. So that's the cover. It's kind of like a quotes page thing. This is the cone of learning, and this is the triangle of optimal functioning. And yeah, med school prep book, kind of my targets on the page here, and where is it? No, not on this page. There's a target here of like how much studying minimum I want to do a day. And then this is the first official page, which is UCAT. I've split it into two sections, so UCAT and portfolio. UCAT is obviously UCAT prep, so like kind of revision notes and exercises and things like that. And then the second section is which is portfolio, which is my competencies, so things I'm writing down along my placement that I think would be useful. I'm writing it here. And my personal statement draft, so things I want to put into my personal statement, and MMI questions, which is multiple mini interviews. The awkward part about vlogging when everyone's home is that everyone can come in at any moment, or anyone can be speaking at any moment while you're at home. You kind of just have to sit there awkwardly waiting for them to leave, because it's just awkward. Oh god, I think she's going. Yay. Hello, welcome to my ASMR channel. Now, where were we? I think I was talking about what MMI was. That stands for multiple mini interviews. So when your application gets shortlisted, you kind of go through a scoring process. You kind of go through a filtration process where kind of they go through your personal statement, they go through your academic records, all of that good stuff. Essentially just go through all of your UCAS, and they see, okay, we want to shortlist this person, we want to reject this person. So they shortlist you for an interview. Usually it's MMIs, so multiple mini interviews, but some universities like to do a panel interview, some like to do a panel and an MMI, so it's kind of all out there. but I know the university I'm applying to only does MMIs, so I'm kind of prepping for that. Yeah, that's what is in this book. I use it every single day, primarily for UCAT, but occasionally when I'm doing my personal statement stuff, because I'm frequently kind of adding to the draft of that. I have my first draft ready, just because I don't want it to be an afterthought that I worry about later on. I'd rather do it now when I have a bit more time, rather than rush and kind of not make it up to adequate standards. Is there anything personal on here? Not particularly. This is the back cover, so the front and then the back, and it has my goals. So this is what I previously scored and where I previously applied. When I came out of sixth form, I applied to medicine. I applied to 2 medical schools and I didn't get in. I didn't make it to the shortlisting stage. I kind of got flat out rejected during the filtration process, which it happens, but hopefully when I'm applying now, I'm set up in a much more better position because I'll have kind of a lot more experiences under my belt. I'm definitely applying with a lot more to offer right now than I did as a naive 17 to 18 year old. And this is kind of my targets, very high targets, I know, but if you shoot for the stars, you at least end up amongst the clouds, or at least that's how I think about it. So even if I don't get like the highest of the highest grades or score on my UCAT, I'll at least have, you know, put everything into it to end up as close as I can to where I want to be. And then this is a timeline. This has been a recent addition. I made this, I think, last week. And it's a personal timeline of things I need to do. A UCAS timeline for like the deadline dates. So for example, UCAS applications, when interviews and offers and things like that start to be made, typically, just stuff like that. And then a university guideline for the university I'm applying to, because I'm only applying to one university, one course. So I have their guidelines, and then my own personal guidelines for when I want to get stuff done, when I want to start stuff. So for example, January was when I wanted to start prepping for my UCAT and kind of slowly easing into my personal statement around the start of the year. But yeah, that's my personal timeline and goals. I like to keep this at the back cover because, you know, the back cover or the front cover is one of the first things you open, and I like having that inspiration there, like this is where I came from, this is where I'm heading, and this is what I need to do to get there. Okay, I realize I've been rambling about all of my resources. Now let's get into the actual evening and nighttime routine. I just thought I'd share all of that because as I'm writing in it and things like that, you guys won't know what I'm doing and it wouldn't make sense without explaining it fully. And this is the first video where I'm kind of fully going into depth with all my med school prep stuff. So yeah, that's what those are. Now let's get into the actual to-do list stuff. I think that's in frame, hopefully. Oh gosh, I should probably move this because it looks very messy. You should always stay hydrated. My drink of choice is a J2O or a water bottle. I have this kind of gallon of water, not a gallon, half gallon of water that I keep just next to my desk, and I always kind of hydrate as I'm studying or as I'm doing work because it is very crucial. And even though you're just sitting at a desk, you're using so much brain power and so much physical energy, and even though you don't feel like you're physically expending that energy, you are expending energy and you need to replenish the fuels that you're wasting. So make sure to have brain food like fruits and stuff, or granola or something like that, whole good foods, and plenty of water on hand. Which is what I do. I usually have a bowl of grapes here, or I'll have a banana or something. But it's usually one of the two, grapes or bananas, and then I'll try and finish this throughout the day. Wait, I just realized you guys are crooked. Oh no. I think that's fixed it. I just realized you guys can see my password. Okay, right, this is the finished to-do list for tonight. I realized it's flipped, so you guys won't be able to see this, but I guess I'll flip it for now. So I need to do abstract reasoning on Medify, and I also want to practice decision making on Medify. So each week I've been alternating my kind of study timetable, which is the paper that fell out earlier. It's my study timetable for myself, to make sure I keep on track of my UCAT revision. So at the top it just says my rough start date, my rough UCAT date, but I don't want to jinx it, so I'm not going to show it. But this is the template I'm using. I made it in Excel, and it has week 1 there, and then it has all the weeks leading up to the rough time that I want to take my UCAT. So there's 5 modules in the UCAT exam, and I kind of have the scoring thing. It will look like this. So I'll write my scores for each section, and then at the top it has the resources that I'm using. So the 1300 is that UCAT book, untimed and timed is Medify, and then I have mock here as well in this column, and that's for later on when I start using the mock tests on Medify. So I just put the scoring, the scores I achieved for each question set there, and then like I said, for each week I alternate, and because I found that doing everything within 1 week, just spending a little bit of time on everything within 1 week wasn't a good balance, and it wasn't constructive enough for me. So I figured focusing on specific modules and spending a lot of time on 2 modules or 1 module at a time during a week is a lot better. So my target for, I think this was last week, week 3 last week, my target for last week was to only do quantitative reasoning, which is my weakest module, and that is this scoring section over here. But I also wanted to pair it because I was getting bored with doing just 1 module, so I paired it with situational judgment, and that ended up going really well. So this week's one that I started from Monday, and it's Sunday today, so it's my last set doing it for this week, is abstract reasoning and decision making. Those 2 are paired up. So yeah, I have abstract reasoning, decision making, and then I also have dissertation prep, because I have a meeting this week with my supervisor about discussing kind of dissertation ideas, and I have my dissertation idea that I want to do in mind, and it's been pre-approved from last semester as well. I have what I want to do in mind. I'm just kind of bringing forward articles and like methodologies and kind of the general, or not general, but the brief summary of how I want to complete my dissertation. For now I want to do the differences in cognitive abilities between student athletes and non-athlete students, so like reaction time, visual spatial memory, kind of all of the kind of neuro tests. I want to do that, and it wasn't my first choice option for a dissertation. The initial kind of 5 choices I submitted got denied because they were too intense, like too neuro intensive, and I wanted to use like cranial caps and brain scanning equipment that we have at the uni. So I know we have it, but we don't have the clearance to use it. So yeah, those got rejected. So this is about as neuro as I could make it while still being entertaining enough for me. Yeah, I'm gonna find some articles and kind of methodologies that I can bring to the meeting to discuss it, but I have the rough methodologies that I want to use. I know I kind of almost certain I'm using a reaction time, like a click task, like you see a dot, you click it, you see a color, you click it, like those kind of reaction time tasks. I think I'm doing the Stroop test, which is the one where you see a color and you see the written word of a different color, and you have to either choose a color or choose the word, like the really annoying cognitive test that most people are familiar with. And then I want to use components of the WMS4, the Wechsler memory scale. I want to use components from there to test memory. So I want to essentially test memory and reaction time. So yeah, that's about as neuro as I could make it and still get away with it. So that's what I'm doing for now. and I'm going to find some kind of articles and things to bring to the meeting. Next up is supervision readings. So supervision is the meetings you have with your supervisor, and I have a few different therapies to read up on: DBT, ACT, and CFT. CFT is compassion focused therapy. ACT is, what is it? Acceptance and commitment therapy, or acceptance and compassion therapy. Hold on, what is it now? It's gonna bug me. It's acceptance and something. Acceptance and commitment therapy. Okay, I was right. And then DBT, which is dialectical behavior therapy. I think. I'm pretty sure it is. You see why I need reading on this, because I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's dialectical behavior therapy. And last but not least is MDT notes. So for those of you who don't work in the clinical or healthcare field, MDTs stand for multidisciplinary team. That was a mouthful. And MDTs are the big team meetings with a specific consultant or clinician who leads the meeting. So you're working off of their kind of patient caseload. And then you have the nurses, you have other medical personnel, you have psychology team, so us, and you have like various other members of staff. Sorry if I'm forgetting anyone. Or clerical staff as well, so admin team, who help with the bookings and help with the clinic rooms and everything like that. Just all the staff essentially involved on the caseload meet and discuss specific patients for that week. And I attend I attend 4 MDTs a week, but tomorrow is my first MDT where I am pitching something, and I've never done it before, and I'm also alone, so this is my second time being in MDT alone ever, and it is my first time pitching something ever. So 2 MDTs are online and 2 are in person, so this is the in-person one. So it's in person and it's my first time pitching something in MDT, but I need to write the notes up for that because I'm presenting a psychology patient to the rest of the staff to get medical advice, so I need to make it as sharp and clear and concise as possible. So I'm going to make some notes on that, non-identifiable notes. Just want to clear that up. Like, there is no patient data breaches, confidentiality breaches here. I'm just writing down bullet points like make sure to bring up symptoms, make sure to talk about treatment goals, like really general notes, just so that it can jog my memory, because I don't even have access to the clinical network anyway, so I physically couldn't make any patient notes. Wish me luck, hopefully it should be good. But that's all on my to-do list. The rest of the stuff that I wanted to do I already did before this, but I'm gonna do this and I'll catch up with you guys when I've started to tick through this. So right now I'm doing the dissertation prep. I've just typed in on Google Scholar student athletes versus non-athletes reaction time and athletes versus non-athletes reaction time, just to get a general gist of the pool of research that I have access to. So yeah, I'm just gonna flick through some articles and see what might be relevant to my dissertation. The criteria that I'm finding for this is I want it to be in support of athletes having a higher reaction time or a quicker reaction time compared to non-athletes, just because that's the gist of my study. I'm proposing that athletes have a higher cognitive ability. It is higher, right? Like the way I'm saying it, you know what I'm trying to say, like they have stronger cognitive abilities compared to non-athlete students. So I'm trying to find articles in support of that. So anytime I find something, I'm kind of just reading through the abstracts, kind of seeing the methodology and jumping to the conclusion and seeing if the results coincide with what I'm saying. I hate when they don't put results in the abstract. Like, that's not a good abstract at all. Like, they put the methodology and the general brief, like, summary of why they're studying what they're studying, but there's no conclusion in the abstract, so now I have to scroll through the whole thing, like the whole conclusion, I mean, it just makes it longer to filter through studies at a faster rate, which I don't like, because when I'm going through this stage of just finding relevant studies, I want everything in the abstract first, so I can kind of just put it into a pile of yes or no, and then really dive into the study. I don't want to be diving into the study now and then realizing, oh, it's no use to me, and then spending however many minutes on that that I could have been doing to find 3 studies in that time. That's my take on it anyway. That's just my system of how I find relevant articles. Okay, so it does coincide with what I was saying, so the time spent reading on it wasn't wasted, so that's good. That's a new word for me, oculomotor. That's cool. A lot of these articles are really good too, because not only do they coincide with what I'm saying, they also have research backing up their methodologies, and they have evaluation points for why their methodologies were reliable and valid, or if they weren't reliable or valid, which I can also use in my dissertation when arguing the reliability of my methodologies. So it's really good to kind of have that streamlined thing of looking at articles briefly, then going into depth, finding more articles within them because they would be relevant, or they'd hopefully be relevant because they're in the article you're using. So it's really good to find articles through that as well, because they have some relevance to the paper you're reading, so they might have relevance to you. So that's really good. I have filtered through the articles that I kind of listed off that I had prepared, that I was reading through earlier today. I filtered out the ones that I could use and that are useful to me, and crossed off the ones that aren't useful to me. So I have about, I think it's 9 or thereabouts, and I've sent them to myself. So I'm going to print those at work this week and filter through those before my meeting on Thursday, and it shouldn't take too long. I'm just going to read the conclusions and the discussion, and kind of make a brief summary of each article, which is what I do anyway. This will be useful to me later on when I actually write my dissertation, because all the articles I found now will just go into my literature review for the reasoning behind why I'm conducting this experiment or this study. So yeah, that is the first thing ticked off of this to-do list. I will tick that off now. I'm not going to tilt the camera, so we'll just tick it off together here because I don't want to move the tripod. Wow, how satisfying. Oh wait, was that even in shot? Because I was like, here. Oh gosh. YouTube, right? I think I'm going to do the MDT notes next, because that is very crucial compared to everything else that is high priority. Oh, another thing that I do on my to-do list when I have a particularly long to-do list, like for example, the week just gone, I had a severely long to-do list, and I was only 2 days into the week when I created this to-do list, and it was just a page long full of tasks. I go through and highlight them or circle them in different colors depending on levels of priority. Yes, it was this week. Can I show anything in here? I'll show it from a distance so you can just see the colors. I think you can see the colors. If not, I'm going to explain it to you anyway. So I have like a page of to-do list items, and then I would take my, those 4-color Bic pens, with like the red, green, blue, black. I have that around my lanyard, and that's what I use to write in this, because I always have that and this on hand. So that's like my pen and notepad. And I went through last week starring or circling the most prominent priority, like utmost priority, in red, and then once those were done, I would go through the remaining tasks, including those with blue or green. So green were kind of extracurricular tasks like reading about the therapies and things like that could wait, or tasks that didn't need to be completed so soon that could be pushed to another week, which I don't usually do, but sometimes it happens like that. There are tasks that get pushed to a different week. And then I would go in blue tasks for phone calls or things that involved direct patient work. So I had 4 phone calls that was made last week, which I circled in blue because that involved talking directly to patients. So I kind of have like a system for that, because work to-do lists do get overwhelming very fast. So I do the same thing at home. So for example, MDT notes, I'll put a little star there, so that as I'm working through this to-do list tonight, I know that if I only have like an hour or so left, I make sure to do that. You see it there. Okay, so this is my kind of rough workbook. I'm going to be writing the MDT notes in here so that I have this ready to take. So yeah, I'm going to do that now. I don't know if you guys heard that. My sister's learning French phrases for no apparent reason, but she's learning to say a man and a cat and the cat. That's all I wanna do. I hope that you're safe and that I will see. As I go through this as well, or just any tasks in general, it kind of makes me think about the tasks I have for the week ahead as well, anything that carries over into work. So for example, the printing, presenting the MDT notes. So as I'm going through that, I also keep my planner, like I said, on hand to write those to-do list items so it's ready for tomorrow when I go into work. Because I took 2 days leave this week, I'll finish off the tasks that didn't get finished last week, this week. And that's often how a lot of my to-do list items carry over to the next week. They just get pushed. I also have consistent ongoing to-do list items that are there every single week. So for example, I handle 2 of the 5 hubs waiting lists, so incoming patient referrals. I handle 2 of them, and then I assist with that, but I don't really do anything with that one. The 2 wait lists are constant ongoing tasks every week, so I always have that as a permanent to-do list item. Supervision is also every week, so I have that as a permanent to-do list item. MDTs are permanent to-do list items, but I don't write them down because it's just you attend, like as soon as you get into work you go there, so it's not really like something to take off. You could take it off, but I just don't write it down. So the MDT notes are done, they are finished here. That's another thing ticked off the to-do list. Let's see if I can get a better angle this time, because apparently I am atrocious at filming literally anything. Is that in frame? Okay, if I just don't move from there, you'd be able to see it. Oh, please pen work. My hand was in the way. For God's sake. You know what, we'll get there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 more boxes to tick, so one of these 5 times I will get it. Here's a consistent task, always on the to-do list. Pet cat. Hello cat. This is Lynx. Oh, okay, never mind. Oh, okay. I don't need too many articles for this. I think 1 or 2 articles, because I just need to know what the therapies are and how to deliver them or conduct them. Do you see what I mean when I'm trying to record at home and everyone's just talking and it's very awkward? California girls. Okay, let's try this. Now this will be a satisfying one because there's 3 to take off. So we're gonna do this right. Okay, I'm gonna try this. Is the light too reflective? Oh gosh. We'll get there. We have 2 more tries to do it. Actually, I'm gonna go to the bathroom first, and I won't take you for that because it's not part of the routine. I'm back. I just realized before we get into the UCAT prep, I was meant to do this earlier. This is part of my routine. I have a protein shake every evening. I'm kind of frequently exercising, so I have a protein shake every single day. When you said you couldn't take us too seriously, I must admit I was relieved.
Play happy families with you, but I like having you around. I'm fully aware this is a flash in the pan, but we can still have fun for now.
Okay, so I just tallied up my score for decision making. I got 19 out of 22 correct, so that's good. I'm making progress. This is my snack, and I'm gonna quickly eat this and be back with you guys. Okay, so I've just had my snack, and I forgot about my shake. It's all gone. We did not take the, where's the pen gone? Decision making, so I'm going to take that off. Okay. Yay! Woo! This vlog is just all over the place. It was such a spontaneous vlog too, like I wasn't even going to vlog today, like, or this evening at all. And now it's just all over the place. But that's just my archetype, I guess. Right, let's get into it.
Say what you wanna say to me now.
Okay, so I did 5 abstract reasoning questions, totaling to 17 as the total score. I got 9 out of 17, but it's okay, it's a work in progress. Abstract reasoning I find particularly difficult, so at least we know it's something that we can work on. Okay, so I'm just gonna start putting away my stuff. Okay, this is where it gets really dark because the lights. Let me fix it. Okay, there we go. Right. I'm not gonna show you the room because it's a mess. Here's my work bag. It's very dark. What do I need from here? I'm just going through the papers. Okay, I need my MDT notes because that is very, very important. And without that, I would be lost because I don't even know anything about what I want to say without having it written down. My planner, headphones, glasses. The glasses I keep on the outside pouch, so I'm gonna need 2 hands for that. I think at one point I will show you guys a what's in my bag video because a lot of the stuff in here, I don't think I filmed a clinical what's in my bag video. I've only filmed a second year uni what's in my bag, which is very different to clinical placement. Where's my water bottle? Water bottle. I'm not actually going to put this in right now because I need to get refreshed water, and I also don't want it to leak because it has a tendency to do that. So this is packed, and then in the morning I'll put in my lunch from the fridge and my water bottle once it's filled up. Okay, what's next? My work clothes I don't think I need to get out because, well, it's all, I'll show you how it's situated. Let there be light. When you get into the cupboard, this is all my work stuff. So I have shirts at the front, like shirts and jumpers and stuff. Then at the back, underneath this, I have all my trousers to choose from, and it's stacked up the same as this. So I just grab whatever and I'm done. So I grab this, then I grab my work bag, and I'm good to go. Okay, so I think that's everything that I have to do. What's the time? Let's see what the time is. Oh, I can't check it while I'm recording. It is 11:58, so I'm gonna go have a shower. By the time I come out and get changed and kind of fully refresh, like cream, moisturizer, oh, that's the same thing, moisturizer, hair oil, lip balm, all the good stuff. it will probably be 12:30 to 12:45 because I have quite long showers. So yeah, I'll see you when I see you, I guess. Hello, Linksy boy. Hello. What are you doing? I have just gotten out of the shower. I'm gonna get dressed, freshen up, and I think that will be it for today. Oh gosh, the back is a mess. Alright, I've just freshened up. My hair is like, yeah, I was born with naturally curly hair, so the curls are out. I just came out the shower. I'm gonna put my cat to sleep, but I won't record any of that because I'm just putting him to sleep. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Good night. If I don't film an outro, here is the outro. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of more casual home vlog. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. That's kind of like what my routine usually looks like. Sometimes there are a couple differences, but for the most part that is it. I also just realized we didn't tick off abstract reasoning, and you know we have to do that because I want to see if I can ever get a good shot of me ticking this off. Okay, I think that's the money maker right there. Nice. Okay, so all of the tasks are ticked off, but yeah, this is what most of my evenings and my night times look like. I rest for a couple hours after work, and then I usually just go full ham in the nighttime. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and leave me some ideas of things and I might record them. Okay, that's all. Thank you so much for watching again, and I hope you have a great morning, evening or night, and goodbye. Under the shade